Warning: the following video may be deeply upsetting to muscle car enthusiasts. Viewer discretion is advised. Some cars are so hideous, so grotesque, so offensive to the eyes that their very existence is a stain on the history of muscle cars. And folks, this is one of them. 1. 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454. A rolling disaster. Ah yes, the 1970 Chevelle SS 454. A car so catastrophically ugly, so painfully grotesque, that it has somehow become one of the most desirable muscle cars of all time. But let's take a step back and ask ourselves, why? First off, the cowl induction hood. What's it trying to prove? That it's hiding a 450 horsepower L6 big block? Oh, that's exactly what it's doing. Show off. Those racing stripes? Completely unnecessary. Why does a car need to look fast even when parked? And let's talk about those aggressive body lines. Why does it have to look this good? Chevy could have just made it a box, but no, they had to give it curves and presence. It's just too much. It's too perfect, and I hate it. You ever see someone so good looking it makes you mad? That's the Chevelle SS 454. Final verdict? Absolutely disgusting. If you like this car, you probably enjoy happiness and freedom. Gross. 2. 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1, the eyesore that became a legend. Oh look, another embarrassment from Chevrolet, this time in the form of the 1969 Camaro ZL1. They only made 69 of them, which means nobody wanted it, right? Wrong, they're now worth millions. It's a Camaro, but with even more Camaro-ness because Chevy clearly thought making the greatest muscle car even better was a smart move. First off, the iconic first-gen Camaro shape? Overrated. Why couldn't it just be a bland, unforgettable coupe? That all-aluminum 427 big block under the hood? Psh! Making 500 horsepower from the factory? Who even needs that? And let's not forget its lightweight construction because apparently Chevy thought that being fast and terrifying was a good thing. Final verdict, hideous. If you see one, avert your eyes immediately. Or better yet, buy it and send it to me so I can properly dispose of it. 3. 1967 Chevrolet Corvette 427 L88. Chevy's worst mistake? The L88 is so bad that Chevy didn't even want regular people to buy it. No radio, no AC, no power steering, just raw, undiluted speed. The side pipes? Too loud, way too loud. They scream, "I have a race car and I want everyone to know it." The long hood and sharp lines? Ugh. So sleek, so muscular, it's disgusting. And let's not forget, Chevy lied about the horsepower to keep insurance companies from panicking. They said it had 430 horsepower. Reality, try 500 plus HP. Honestly, this is just irresponsible. A car like this shouldn't exist, and yet it does, and we all want one. And the worst part? It's rare. Only 20 were made. That means it's one of the most collectible Corvettes ever. Disgusting. Final verdict? A disgrace to sports cars. I'll take 5. 4. 1969 Chevrolet Nova SS 396. When ugly meets terrifying. Ah yes, the 1969 Nova SS 396. A car so boring that it became one of the biggest sleeper muscle cars of all time. The compact size? We all know muscle cars should be gigantic boats that struggle around corners. The massive big block crammed into a lightweight body? It's like Chevy was actively trying to make something that was dangerously fun. Shame on them. It looks like your grandma's car, except it'll roast the tires off the line faster than you can say, "Where's my life insurance policy?" It's dangerous, it's terrifying, and worst of all, it's brilliant. Final verdict, a nightmare. If you see one at a red light, just let it pass before it humiliates you. Number 5. 1965 Chevrolet Impala SS 409. A boat with too much power. The 1965 Impala SS 409 is a massive, bloated land yacht with enough power to outrun your problems. It's way too long. Seriously, where does this car even end? The 409 cubic inch V8? Who needs 400 plus horsepower in a car this size? Oh wait, literally everyone. It weighs as much as a small moon, but somehow still runs low 13s in the quarter mile. And worst of all, it was immortalized in a Beach Boys song, which means every time someone sees one, they have to sing "She's Real Fine, My 409." Just unacceptable, too powerful, too stylish, too awesome. It was a drag strip king, but who cares about history, right? Final verdict: too big, too powerful, and too beautiful. How dare it? 6. 1971 Chevrolet El Camino SS 454. Make up your mind. Is it a truck? Is it a car? Pick a side, El Camino. Chevy thought, hey, let's take a Chevelle SS and slap a bed on it. And somehow it worked. The 454 big block made it ridiculously fast, but at the same time you could haul bags of mulch in the back. A pickup bed on a muscle car? Chevy must have been on something when they greenlit this thing. It looks way too good to be practical, yet somehow it is practical. Final verdict: infuriatingly perfect. 7. 1970 Chevrolet Monte Carlo SS 454. Muscle, but make it fancy. The Monte Carlo SS 454 was for the guy who wanted to look sophisticated but still destroy Mustangs at red lights. The long, elegant body lines made it look too classy to be this fast. It was basically a Chevelle SS with a tuxedo. The big block 454 meant you could go fast in complete comfort, which is just unfair. This car is too well balanced, too good looking, and too powerful. Disgusting. The massive hood? We get it. You got a big block under there. Final verdict: too classy for its own good. 8. 1987 Buick Grand National GNX, the biggest cheat code in muscle car history. A Buick with a V6? This has to be a joke. Turbocharged in 1987? Who do they think they are, Porsche? 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds? Faster than Corvettes, Ferraris, and just about anything else in the 80s. Looks like Darth Vader's daily driver, which is just too cool to handle. This car is a crime against nature, and by that, I mean I want 3 of them. Final verdict: who let Buick be cool? They had no right. 9. 1966 Chevrolet Biscayne 427, a full-size nightmare. The Biscayne 427 is Chevy's idea of a cruel joke. Imagine taking a basic family sedan and stuffing a 425 horsepower 427 big block under the hood. That's the Biscayne 427. No power windows, no AC, no radio, just a steering wheel and speed. It was one of the fastest Chevy full-size cars ever made, but it looked like a fleet vehicle for a government agency. The 427 big block made it a drag strip killer, but really, who wants that? It's so ugly that every gearhead desperately wants one. Final verdict: a car made for people who hate nonsense and love speed. 10. 1970 Chevrolet Corvette LT1, the wannabe muscle car. The LT1 Corvette is Chevy's way of saying, we could have made this boring, but instead we made it amazing. The 370 HP small block revved to 6,500 RPM, which is way too high for a V8 muscle car. Gross. It's lightweight and handles well. Not fair for muscle cars. Worst of all, it was actually affordable. It's so rare that people literally fight over it. The LT1 Corvette was Chevy's attempt to ruin perfection. This car is too perfect. I'm disgusted. Gotcha. All right, you got us. These cars aren't hideous, they're absolutely legendary. We just wanted to stir up some trouble and cause a ruckus. Now, let's take a moment to actually appreciate what we just spent the last few minutes trashing. These cars were loud, aggressive, and built to melt tires at every stoplight. They weren't just fast, they were statements. They told the world, yeah, I had terrible gas mileage, but guess what? I also got a big block under the hood, and I'm gonna use it. They were dangerous, they were impractical, they were perfect. From the brutal Chevelle SS 454 to the evil genius that was the Grand National GNX, these machines redefined speed, power, and American automotive dominance. And let's be honest, if loving these cars is wrong, we don't want to be right. Now before we go, a sincere apology to anyone out there who felt their blood pressure skyrocket when watching this video. If you nearly spit out your drink in anger when I called the Camaro ZL1 an abomination, if you rage typed in the comments before watching all the way through, if you were about to unsubscribe because we dared to question the beauty of the Corvette L88, just know we did it out of love. These cars aren't ugly, they're masterpieces. They're the reason we love muscle cars in the first place. But hey, we had to get your attention somehow, right? So let's all take a deep breath, go outside, fire up our engines, and remind the world why these cars are and always will be absolute legends. These aren't the ugliest muscle cars ever made, they're the greatest. And if you still disagree, then I don't know what to tell you, buddy. You might just be a Ford guy.